Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 recap of Ohio Animal Advocates Real Ohio Tours. The purpose of these tours was to strengthen the network of animal sanctuaries in Ohio. We also wanted to provide our members with the opportunity to get out of the house, bond with animals, and learn about the sanctuaries. Our first Real Ohio tour will be in Newark, where we'll visit Walking Wild.
Walking Wild is a fox sanctuary located in Newark, Ohio. Molly and her husband, along with a few volunteers, spend their time dedicated to caring for foxes, wolf dogs, coyotes, and a few farm animals. The facility currently holds around 152 foxes. Walking Wild first began its program after receiving a call from New York in March 2020. Molly was asked to take in 6 foxes in her home. Who would have imagined how quickly that call led to their amazing sanctuary? Walking Wild has a large indoor center for the foxes to provide shade from the sun. Arctic foxes and red foxes are kept separated due to their aggressive nature together. Every day, their crew goes through 110 pounds of drumsticks to feed their foxes' raw diet requirement. Each area has access to an outdoor space filled with toys and wildlife. Each habitat contains a few foxes matched based on their personality and social level. At the facility, Molly pairs foxes together and creates little fox families. Molly will then provide mates with new foxes to look after and adjust them to the facility. Walking Wild mainly receives their foxes from pet surrender and fur farms. Fur farming inhumanely breeds foxes based on manufacturing demands with no regard for the animal. A sapphire fox only lives 2 to 3 years but is highly desired based on its unique coat color. Molly works directly with fur farmers to see if they have unusable animals or if they are shutting down. Having this close connection to the farmers has greatly built her reputation in the area. Molly recognizes people are unfit to care for foxes because they are not domesticated. Once the fox imprints on its owner, it's unable to be on its own. Walking Wild advocates for the proper care of foxes and the termination of fur farms. You too can get involved with their program through volunteering donations or virtually adopting a fox. Their mission is to provide a sanctuary full of love for those who have not always experienced a proper life. Through Molly and her husband David's efforts, Walking Wild has become one of the most renowned and successful wild animal sanctuaries in America.
Next, we'll take you to Columbus, where you can check out the neat things they're doing at Columbus Humane.
Columbus Humane is putting out a facility the first of its kind in the country, a facility where both pets and their owners can receive low-cost care at the same time. While still in the beginning stages, Columbus Humane showed Ohio Animal Advocates what they plan to accomplish in the near future. Columbus Humane sought out an area in our city that was underdeveloped and in desperate need of care. With 75% of their funding coming from individuals in the community and a donor to purchase the building, Columbus Humane opened their Essential Care Center in area code 43207 on South High Street. This warehouse hosts community low-cost vaccine events and pickups for requested pet supplies. Columbus Humane receives their items from donations and pet store returns. They then distribute 13,000 to 15,000 pounds of pet food weekly. Each recipient is handed a month's supply so they can sit comfortably for some time. Columbus Humane is introducing new vet tech assistant education programs to help aid the national shortage of veterinarians. Each class cohort is about 10 people, and over 60 students have completed the program so far. In Phase 2 of their program, they hope to connect with OSU Social Work and College of Nursing to provide care for their human patients as well. Columbus Humane emphasizes through their work that low cost does not mean low quality. The Essential Care Center can receive over 200 calls an hour for services. They are a high-volume spay and neuter clinic twice a week, where they operate up to 40 dogs in a day. On a regular basis, they can do around 25 procedures in a day. Their veterinarian hospital uses large rooms to allow their students to have first-hand teaching experiences. In Franklin County, there are about 100,000 pets living in poverty, 75,000 who have never been to a vet, and 25,000 who are homeless. Columbus Humane took these numbers into consideration by trying to make a facility that was marketed towards patient-focused service. Many people who come to the Essential Care Center are unable to make it back for follow-up appointments. Columbus Humane provides blood results and urine analysis all in the same day. They see a future in one family care, making a one-stop shop for both you and your beloved pet. Columbus Humane Essential Care Center is setting steps for the future where they hope others will follow. Columbus Humane saw a need for support in area code 43207 and is making change for the better. They want to thank the community for their continued support.
Now, won't you join us in Yellow Springs, where we visit the Glen Helen Raptor Center?
This past month, Ohio Animal Advocates had a small group visit the Glen Helen Raptor Center, located in Yellow Springs, Ohio. The center's mission is to improve the welfare of raptors across Ohio through educating the public about birds of prey, wildlife, and conservation, and through the rehabilitation of injured raptors across southwestern Ohio. Christine, the assistant director, spent over an hour with our group teaching us about 3 different birds found all throughout Ohio. Valkyrie is a juvenile red-tailed hawk. These birds are incredibly successful due to their adaptability. Hawks are distant hunters that sit still until their eye catches prey and they swoop down. Red-tailed hawks are mostly found around our highways, which causes for many of them to end up injured at the center. Valkyrie was brought into the Raptor Center due to a congenital defect in one of her eyes. Unlike other red-tailed hawks, she was unable to adjust her eye properly in order to hunt prey. Only 1 out of 10 swoops are successful in juveniles. After the 11th swoop, they're extremely tired and begin scavenging on the ground. Due to the nature of her eye, she was unsuccessful in proper hunting, resorting her to rely on what was available on the ground. This led to malnutrition and for her to become a permanent resident at the Raptor Center.
This is where human beings contribute to our bird loss. So you're eating an apple on the side, you're eating an apple while you're driving down the road. You think, oh, it's not really rubbish. It doesn't need to go in a trash can because it's just gonna decompose. Throw it out the window. Well, what comes to eat it is a mouse. Well, what comes to eat that is a hawk. So every little thing we do, all of the decisions that we make affect our entire world.
Flash is a peregrine falcon. Falcons are the fastest animal on the planet, going 200 miles per hour. Due to their high speed and hooked notch on their beak, falcons can kill a bird 3 times the size of them. These birds reside on cliffsides out west and along the east coast. Peregrine falcons almost went extinct in the 1960s due to DDT pesticides. This changed the body's bloodstream and calcium levels, causing the eggs to be inhabitable for successful offspring. Flash is at the Raptor Center due to French mold as a juvenile on his back wings. This will affect Flash's follicle for the rest of his life.
We almost lost all of them in the 60s. We were down to only 6 breeding pair in the United States wild. We lost them all in the course of over the course of about 5 to 10 years. Scientists were noticing a decline, but no one was listening.
Ducky is a barn owl. Barn owls are 20 to 25 million years old. They have the ability to hunt completely blind due to their incredible hearing. You are able to tell what time an owl hunts based off their eye color. Darker during the night, lighter during the day. Barn owls have the longest beak and wing-to-body ratio. These birds fly completely silent. Ducky was in a tree that was taken down without checking the inside first. 1 day for a human is 1 year for barn owls. The man who found her kept her for 4 days, causing the injuries to have permanent damage to their body. We have almost completely lost barn owls due to roundicide, but they have been officially moved off the endangered list.
All of those owls have a very similar appearance. They look like tree bark. They nest in trees in general. They're cavity nesters, things like that. These guys, no.
Next, we're off to Marysville, where we visit our friends at Sunrise Sanctuary.
and thank you for joining us today at Sunrise Sanctuary. Here in Marysville, Ohio, Sunrise Sanctuary works day and night to care for over 170 formerly abused, neglected, disabled, or unwanted animals. The sanctuary is a non-profit run mainly by volunteers. Our tour is led by Sandy, the primary caregiver, daily manager, volunteer organizer, treasurer, and so much more. Join us as we say hello to some wonderful friends who've been given a second chance.
At some point they had a pity party. I don't know what happened. It was nothing dramatic. They just kind of stopped hanging out together. Now Henry sleeps in the shop with Regan, Lefty commandeered the porch, and Oakley sleeps in that yellow house.
We got to meet the rescued pigs. Some of them were more than happy to receive complimentary belly rubs from strangers, while others were happy to lie down and snore the day away.
She's a sweet girl.
Wow.
After some more happy honks, we went to greet the birds, although it seems that some of them wanted to greet us as well.
You're welcome to pet him. Hi there.
Leon the friendly goat came to say hi as well, and offered some friendly headbutts.
Hey buddy, how are you doing? Good boy. Good boy, Leon.
But yeah, you can pretty much tell if they're not doing their normal behaviors.
There's something, an
There's
issue.
something
Oh,
going
okay,
on.
okay.
So we work with OSU and Abby, our consultant, nutritionist. Mostly she's a nutritionist with Equine, but she's given us some great tips for the other animals as well. And Bethany come up with a formulation, and you can tell they're better when they're out doing their
Oh, okay,
So it's
okay.
like, oh, this is working. They might see you out grazing and being a normal piggy.
Some of the cows were out in the fields, watching our group from afar with curiosity.
Come up
Yep.
here. There's a little bit of a haul for her to come
Yeah.
up here, but she does still come up. She's awesome.
Then, we went to the stables, where we got to meet some horses and donkeys.
He does spend some time in here. Or horses that are metabolic, like JJ and Dakota.
Our final stop was with some more of the pigs, who happened to be taking a nice, cool mud bath.
How much would you say this one weighs?
I would say these guys are about 500 pounds.
500 pounds.
Before we left, we said goodbye to all of the friends we made along the way.
He's so friendly. Yeah, he loves people. He loves the guy. He has a toy guide. He said, she's totally yeah, he was abandoned. He was wandering around. He ended up in the Humane Society in Kentucky. And a volunteer of theirs, who also volunteers for us, called us to see if we should take him because they had no piggies.
Vicki Diesner, the executive director for OAA, also talked about progress that's been made in Ohio, as well as offering hope for the future of animal welfare.
There were a lot of fights, a lot of Midwestern attorney generals that actually turned around and tried to fight this. They did not win, and in fact, just last spring, not this spring, but last spring, the pork producers in Ohio took it, or not in Ohio, not Ohio, Iowa, took it to the United States Supreme Court and thought they would win, and actually even Clarence Thomas upheld, everybody who usually maybe wouldn't be animal sensitive upheld it for commerce reasons, Commerce Clause. And something great that happened this spring that you think, okay, this kind of sees the changes coming, is USDA for their organic standards They let out that they can't have battery cages if they want to be approved for organic chicken. They can't face brand animals, which why would they brand them in the face anyhow? Who knows? They can't tail dock them. Because like with the cows, that's the only way they fight the insects that are biting them in that. And a number of other things, so change is happening.
If you want to support the fantastic work being done at Sunrise Sanctuary, you can go to their website at sunrisesanctuary.org. You can also check us out at ohioanimaladvocates.org. With your help, we can all make a difference for animals in need. Thank you for coming along, and we hope to see you again.
Our final stop will be Foxtail Sanctuary in Medina.
Foxtail Sanctuary is a fox sanctuary located in Medina, Ohio. Michelle Craddock owns and runs the sanctuary with the help of her volunteers who dedicate their time to care for the foxes who call the sanctuary their home. Foxtail Sanctuary currently homes about 30 captive bred foxes. Unfortunately, many people purchase foxes for pets without realizing the full extent of the care that they require. Foxes are not dogs or cats, and although they can be trained, they are wild animals. The sanctuary has continued to grow since Michelle began her journey of saving and caring for foxes in June of 2021. It all started when Michelle rescued Kit, an 11-week-old fox who was never picked up from the breeder. Michelle quickly learned that there was a great need for the rescue and placement of captive-bred foxes, and Foxtail Sanctuary came into existence. Foxtail Sanctuary has spacious enclosures for each of its residents, which includes plenty of toys for enrichment. The foxes enjoy nutritious meals and are spoiled with treats. Each fox has its own story of how they arrived at the sanctuary, and each one is provided with as much care and patience as they need when they arrive. The foxes are paired together based on their personalities and who they get along with the best. Through the amazing work of Michelle and the sanctuary, these foxes are provided with a safe and loving home. If you would like to learn more about Foxtail Sanctuary, please visit their website at www.foxtailsanctuary.com, where you can also support the mission of Foxtail Sanctuary, which includes opportunities to donate, sponsor a fox, or spoil the foxes with an item off of their Amazon wish list. You can also look at volunteer opportunities at the Foxtail Sanctuary website.
OAA would like to thank everyone for another great year of Real Ohio Tours.